What's poppin', y'all? It looks like DDG's feeling the pain. He's feeling the competition because he just put out a statement that he might be leaving Twitch.
Have y'all been noticing like less clips? Tell me if it's just me. You know what happened? I want to give y'all the inside scoop. The Green app. All the clippers, they sold out. Ain't for the love of the game now. I'm probably gonna start doing like little exclusive kick streams here and there just to see if that the clips go crazy. But you know who they've been pushing, who Kick been pushing, which I with Dean the Great, because that he good, he great at making content. I know a lot of y'all don't like him, but I with Dean. They've been pushing shit out of Dean. I see Dean every other scroll, literally. See every other scroll. They've been pushing Dean, him and Adrian Bronner. Been pushing them crazy. I see they've been pushing Neon, which is a smart. This is a genius business model, like, because Clippers really run the whole social media. So Twitch, y'all need to do something in turn, or like me gonna start coming on this month talking about I'm gonna do some exclusive Green app streams because this getting clipped like it used to. But you know, they got the super bag, so they're able to do that. But we're gonna see about it. I do need to grow that Green app though. I do. So maybe I do like an exclusive week on Kick or something. I don't know. See how we can grow it. You know, y'all come watch it. Yeah, come watch that.
So first off, yeah, he's talking about, you've been noticing less clips. DDG, this game's been going on for 3 years, damn near now. Nah, not 3 years. I would say 2 full years that this has been going on. It's just been ramping up, and now it's everywhere. And he says, yo, they're not in it for the love of the game anymore. What love of the game? Making you rich for free? Like, let me give you guys a quick refresher on the timeline for this. So there were plug channels previously, which was the YouTube version of it. Your Rage was one of them, and people would clip up live streams on a YouTube channel that would be a plug channel. Like, for example, Academics' King Academics channel, that was Drill 420. There used to be a YouTube channel called Drill 420 and a bunch of others at that time who would just clip academic streams and make videos out of them. And they would make money doing this. They would get monetized. And what Academics ended up doing was he just said like, yo, Drill, this guy, come work for me. And they have some sort of a business deal going to where it makes sense for them. Now, what happened after the YouTube era is that YouTube started cracking down on these channels and they updated their monetization policy. So a lot of these channels, they just got monetized, or they started to have to actually give real opinions. They're like, hey, buddy, you're not just going to clip somebody else's stuff too. So there was impersonation and reused content. So that cracked down on that method. Then there became the short form method, which was TikTok mainly. I think this is what DDG's talking about. And this scaled up partially because of Sneako's editor. So Sneako's former editor, he started to tell everybody, hey, dude, you're watching Kai Cenat. You could just clip him and make money from the TikTok creativity program. And he was pushing that constantly. And all these young guys, they're like, yo, I'm watching this guy anyway. I could clip him and make money. So that happened. But the CPMs were really, really low. And then came the people paying for clippers, which was initially Aiden Ross, who would buy clip pages. And then Neon started throwing bags. And this is when I think Neon paired up with this other guy and they created a server and they started to pay people CPMs. So, yo, you get us this many views, there's a leaderboard, and then that company became collaborators with Kick. And that's where we're at right now. So right now, I think it's most of these, if you're a clipper, right, and you're good and you know how to get views, and somebody comes to you and says, and you know you made people so much more popular, and they're saying, dude, you're getting paid pennies. You could make 10x, 25x, 50x. You're going to keep doing it for the love of the game? What are you talking about? And these people are from other countries too, so they've got more time, and more time as in they need less money to live on a full-time income, which gives them more time to spam and post and watch all of this stuff. So it makes perfect sense, and congratulations to them. That's like, I shout out, salute all these clippers that are doing their thing. You guys are hard workers doing, I don't want to say God's work, that's crazy, but you are blessing yourselves and you deserve it. Like, then DDG realized, he's like, yo, why my clips not hitting like that? Because if you were clipping DDG, they're looking at you like, yo, we're over here making 5, 10, 15, 20 bags a month, clipping clavicular. You got the same talent and you're making a measly $346 clipping DDG? Why? And they're like, you know what? Good question. Why? So you hop on over there. It's a competitive platform. But this harms DDG because then he seems less lit. And you know, there is nothing, absolutely nothing that scares DDG more than Rice Gum's forbidden word. Irrelevant. That terrifies him. So now he's considering going to Kick because they offer this for the free, especially if you're already popular. DDG is one of the top streamers on Twitch. So he was looking into clipping and they hit him with the rates and he's like, oh, wait, hold on. I can't do that. Oh, no way. No way I can do that. I can't afford that. And it makes sense. Not only can he not afford that, it would be stupid for him to try to afford that or try to spend that amount of money unless you're getting, I don't know what Neon's doing. I think Neon's the most sus guy ever. Like, we need to pocket watch that guy. People are pocket watching Steve Will Do It, which is all good and well because that guy's got a private jet. How the hell do you got a private jet? And he's talking about, oh, you know, it's just the drinks, bro. You know, we sell the seltzer. Yeah, okay. Sell the seltzer. I can't believe he wanted us to believe that nonsense. But DDG has a close homie, Deshae Frost. Deshae Frost, he's on Kick. Deshae Frost is getting clipped. Well, Deshae Frost he got some motion. He's got his own show going on. Blueface, I believe Blueface might be on Kick. I think he's doing the 24-hour thing there. But not only that, Dean the Great. He's been seeing Dean the Great and Adrian Broner. And when you're making content that's clippable, like DDG, and this is the thing, how do you get chosen for this? Well, Kick just arbitrarily chooses. They're like, yo, juice this guy up. For a little while, they juiced that TJR guy up when he started live streaming. He was already popular on TikTok, but they juiced him when he came onto Kick. And DDG, he's already popular. Everyone already knows him, so they're going to juice him. Same with Adrian Broner. Everybody already knows or has seen Adrian Broner, and when he's with Dean the Great, especially after Dean the Great, once he was getting slap, punch, all that other stuff, that was great content regardless. So they put Dean the Great on there. Rampage Jackson is also one of the people that constantly gets clipped. So DDG, it would be a no-brainer, and he would get hundreds of thousands of dollars in marketing dollars for free by Kick if he just streams on there. And that's not counting the amount of pay that he would receive for the viewers that he averages on Kick for their Kick partner program. So I don't know why he doesn't do that more. I do think he will, but he's already killing it on Twitch. That's the thing. He's got like 11,000 subscribers on there, which means he's got a lot of real viewers, to say the least. But I would quote tweet this, and I would say, a streaming platform built within the past 4 years by young billionaire CEOs who grew up on the internet. I mean, these guys grew up on RuneScape. They were playing RuneScape. And that's where they first got the staking. The staking was like the gambling. Staking on RuneScape. And then they built Prime Dice, which was the first company, and then they continued and built, and now they're crushing it. I said, it's already doing better than Mixer, which was funded by the biggest company in the world at one point, Microsoft. So Mixer was a live streaming platform that's been defunct for many years now, and they famously signed Ninja and Shroud, I believe, and probably a couple of others. And they tried to be a competitor to Twitch, and they just tried to be like a gaming platform. This was the same time Facebook Gaming was signing a bunch of people, YouTube Gaming was a thing. And they just tried to compete. They threw big bags at Ninja, big bags at Shroud, and they thought like, hey, this is going to grow us. It didn't work. It failed miserably. And the reason why I say Microsoft is because these are companies with unlimited budgets. They're way more than Stake. And it says it has Twitch, owned by Amazon, so owned by Jeff Bezos, one of the richest people as well, on the back foot, constantly changing their policies. So much so that one of the top streamers on their competitor's platform, DDG, is considering switching and streaming on Kick without a deal. And this is why Kick is so brilliant. And I got to give them credit for this. They switched it up. They used, in the beginning, and I said this years ago, if you guys remember, I think it was like the Streaming Wars or something like that video. It was on my main channel. I said, yo, these big deals that you guys are seeing right now, these lax rules that you guys are seeing right now, it's got a timeline on it. The lax rules ended. People were getting banned left and right a couple of years ago on Kick. Now you do have like some weirdos right now doing inflammatory content, but they got banned too. That Chud the Builder guy, they got him out of there. And then the big deals. Nobody's gotten a Kick deal in a year and a half, 2 years, maybe even longer. So they learned and they moved on. They got a new model now, which is the partner model. And it's such a good incentive that DDG is considering switching on. And I said, it really shows the value and importance of understanding the culture of the market that you're entering. And not all problems can be solved by throwing money at them. If they just kept paying big deal after big deal after big deal, it didn't work like that. The streamers weren't motivated to keep grinding. When the streamers have KPP, which is their hourly pay based on the amount of viewers that they get, they are incentivized to stream many hours to make more money. And they're also incentivized to stream high effort content because their KPP varies based off of different metrics, including real viewers, but also chat activity. So if there's high engagement in their chat, then they're going to get paid more for that hour versus if barely anybody is typing. And this is a great system to keep the workers on the farm, keep the streamers grinding versus when they've got a guaranteed deal, they're just phoning it in. Like, I think Aiden Ross famously said, like, yo, Bruce drop him off would phone it in. And some people are making the argument of like, yeah, it's like the gambling. They're just getting people into gambling. Yeah, that's the basis of this company. And a lot of people on Kick also do get a gambling deal. But get this, if it was solely about gambling, then they wouldn't turn off KPP when an individual is gambling. They turn that off now. So if you're doing a gambling section of your stream, or if you are a gambling streamer, of which there are many on that platform, you won't be earning the hourly rate. So it doesn't matter what viewers you average. If you're gambling, that's your money with your deal with whatever company you're working with. But Kick, the streaming platform, is not going to pay you on those hours. They turn it off. So I think there is no better demonstration that they are trying to be a real, legitimate streaming platform primarily and compete with these other guys, YouTube and Kick or Twitch, than that. Because then it would be a more of a, if they wanted everybody to start gambling, they'd give KPP on top of the gambling. So because that would incentivize the creators to just keep gambling all the time. But they don't do that. So they have this balance going on right now. I think this would be a great move for DDG. I'm really love to see what Kick's doing. I don't care what anybody says. Do you guys realize how bad Twitch used to be? People are like, no, Kick is just a controversial platform. Yeah, you've got to go where you've got the edge. Initially, they had the edge for gambling. Like, oh, Twitch banned gambling. This is the safe space for gambling. Also, it's the safe space for quote-unquote free speech, which it wasn't. But eventually, they tightened up on that. Initially, they kept it a little bit loose. And then it became the edgy play. Like right now, it's still like stuff that you would get banned for. Like, for example, certain Deshae Frost content, certain Blueface content, a lot of clavicular content, people that are skating the line of gray area illegal stuff. Like a guy's, oh, hold up, let me go off frame and snort some substance or something like that and come back on frame. You're going to see that on Kick. So yeah, is it a little bit seedy? Sure, but you've got to compete somewhere. You can't just, oh yeah, let's have it clean cut and have the same exact rules as Twitch without all the corporate sponsors that Twitch has and without the user base that Twitch has and without the 15 years that Twitch has in the game. That is goofy. You're just going to lose. So they have to do that. I think eventually they're going to gloss things over and clean up the image, which they've already done a lot of from when they first started. Granted, someone did catch a body on there a year ago, but hey, that's neither here nor there. Sometimes, there was a shootout. Like a guy, I'm pretty sure the guy that went into the supermarket and shot a bunch of black people and killed them, and I think it was in Buffalo or something, that was streamed on Twitch. We're not blaming Twitch for that. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Should DDG hop on Kick? I think he should, do a couple of things on there. Get the clipping, at least just to get the clipping going. Because DDG, you're on tour right now. Like, you want the footage and all the promotion you can get from tour, especially while you're still on it. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see y'all in the next one.